Welcome to this edition of the Henstitute, in which we're going to look at temperature scales and how to convert them. Now, a lot of people know Celsius and Fahrenheit, and they probably learned in a math class or a science class a way to convert with 9/5, because that's one of the things that's important is this relationship of 9/5 between them, which really comes from the ratio of there are 180 degrees Fahrenheit for every 100 degrees Celsius. That's what that 9/5 is coming from. But I want to kind of teach you a method that will allow you to convert any temperature scales when you're going in between them. And it's kind of a three-part process. So the first part is you subtract your ice point from the stated temperature. Then you're going to convert using your conversion factor, and then you're going to add the ice point on the new scale. So I'm going to use that to kind of do this first example. So most people are familiar, especially now that we're in COVID-19 and everybody's taking temperatures, that kind of the healthy person is classified as 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I want to convert that into Celsius. If I was in England, what are they saying should be the temperature of a healthy person? So the first step number one here, is you're going to subtract the ice point of this particular scale. So the ice point on the Fahrenheit scale is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to subtract 32 degrees Fahrenheit. When I do that, I get not a good number if you're familiar or you're superstitious, but 66.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This is obviously not the final answer, but this is a first step that we have to do. Step number two is we're going to use this answer and do a conversion factor, where now I'm going to put degrees Fahrenheit on the bottom and degrees Celsius on top because we're trying to change into Celsius. I'm looking for how they're related. Where does that come from? Well, it comes from the range from the ice point or the freezing point up to the steam point or the boiling point. So there are 180 degrees Fahrenheit for every 100 degrees Celsius. So we're using that same range. So I'm going to put 100 degrees Celsius over 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you want to, you could use this relationship and just use the reverse and use 5/9, and that would work. But since I've already got it kind of set up, bye-bye degrees Fahrenheit, hello degrees Celsius, and should give us an answer, and I get 37 degrees Celsius. That's step number two. Now, technically, I am not done. A lot of people will stop here, but you're technically not done. Now, I'm going to show this. This is going to be kind of funny for this particular problem, but you're technically not done. Step number three is you want to take this temperature, and then the last step is you add the ice point for that new scale. So I would be adding 0 degrees Celsius because that's the ice point for Celsius. Now, this is kind of not necessary. I'm just showing you that this is the general rule or strategy. And so the true temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So if you were in England, they would be measuring your temperature and saying, oh, you're healthy, you're 37 degrees. I'm a big proponent that always make sure you put Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin, what other temperature scale you have. So this is the first example using this three-step method, and we'll look at more examples as we convert more and more. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Henstitute.